Welcome, everybody, to the next chapter of the Creative Moment. We took a little time off. Been busy. Dante Bullhauer, Jamie Bullhauer. We are your host of both renditions of the Creative Moment. This is season 11, episode 8. We're chugging right along through season 11. Again, like I said, we've missed you guys. I'm sure you've missed us. So apologies on my end for the delay in episodes. But we are back. So we still can't get the crack right. But, you know. Anyway.
But, I mean, just busy, all kinds of levels of busyness. So, in that summer, kind of funny how school, maybe because it's a routine. It's easier to deal with the routine because it's a routine where, you know, and even your jobs are.
Yeah,
you know,
and I've just been, woof. Anyway,
yeah.
Today we're talking about death and what you do or what
you should be prepared for
when you leave this earth in, again, like a creative sense. That's what the podcast is all about. So,
yeah, it's kind of crazy. And I did some research and stuff. This is one of the few I thought I better have some research about so that one, when you know you're going to, you know, time is coming and stuff, you can get set up. But due to the fact of the, you know, having some stuff kind of ready to go in case of, sadly, any of those serious things that might happen, what happens to all your work? What happens to your books on Amazon? Like, there is a lot within the creative aspect of our lives that you gotta actually, in a sense, do a lot of legwork and have prepared.
It's interesting because obviously we are very digital based people now. And so you have a lot of poems that maybe just live on Twitter. I have a lot of, like, my Instagram is kind of my art gallery, so to speak. If I were to pass, what, like, all these hard drives have, like, digital copies or whatever, but what would I want, like, my art to be represented with? Like, how would I know for you guys to choose the right photos? I don't want you to choose the bad, like, everything's so digital that I don't have, like, a log of, hey, here's what I want my gallery to be.
That's what you have to do. If you don't, so that's one of the, so really big picture first. The best thing to have in place, no matter what your age, is a will and actually the paperwork and stuff to start your estate. And who is actually going to be the head of that. And a lot of people do choose family members. They do. We'll probably break down a couple other things beyond that, but just so to carry on what you would like to happen to your art. So it doesn't matter if it's painting, sculpting, whatever. You actually have to have a paper trail of everything that you have and what you want to happen with it. Yes.
Like, are you talking from a legal sense or just you should as a creative?
If you want any of your creativity to last beyond your death, yes.
I
get it. Like, you have your jobs and you have your stuff, but you do have landscaping. Okay, so I have my books that, like, are on Amazon, just whether it's a painting, whatever. So when I pass, or however that might happen, to continue to sell them to the copyright, all of those things, I have to actually indicate that. I have to kind of write, if I want some of my old poems or stuff, you know, or to give the estate or the head of the estate, curator, whatever, legal rights to do. If I don't do any of that, basically all my stuff disappears. It disappears. Or it starts to cause problems within the family or within whatever, leave whatever here or this or what to do with it. And so the first step is actually to catalog. Now in your case, it might be hard drive A has my nature photos. I would like those to be, or something like that. But if you don't have that on paper, legally, kind of within your will, within your estate setup, I could take it, and
I could very easily see all of these just sitting somewhere and never being used.
Yep.
Just because you don't know. I mean, there's tens of millions of folders in there, like what to do with what. Like,
yeah, or I just go. I wouldn't do this, but just setting up that bad. I'm just saying that thing about family dynamics and some of this other, like, I'm just gonna start selling these. Maybe you died tragically, and all of a sudden it's like, and I'm all like making...
Died in the mountains, in the Tetons, and now my Tetons photo is crazy.
There's show up of a bear. I don't know. But I could, and that would start to it's...
So, Juice WRLD is an artist that I liked back in high school, and he OD'd because whatever. He died at the airport from an overdose because he was caught with drugs on a plane, whatever. His family or his estate, whoever was running those things, going through his stuff, found all these lyrics to songs he had never written. And now, I think in like the next week, there's an album coming out from Juice WRLD of him singing these. Maybe it's an unreleased recording, or I know there's a couple songs out there that are AI Juice WRLD that he actually wrote that they've put out, and so they're just trying to make like millions of dollars, not on his death, but money that they wouldn't have otherwise because it would be just him releasing those songs for his own free will or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think you guys would do that. I know you wouldn't do it, but that would. I mean, stuff like that is interesting because obviously he didn't expect that day to be his last day, and so you don't have...
That's the problem with a lot of creatives, and we've learned that... I'm just in that sense, life happens. Life does happen. And I'm obviously, I'm beginning to be 110 years old. I mean, I know, that is a part of the future. I've got to really get the will handle. I got some other... so, besides the paperwork, is determining who or what group of people have control of your stuff once you pass.
Can you say nobody?
No. Then it's just... Then you leave it up to the legal system, whoever... Yeah. That is not a... In the research and everything, no. Because the state could take it, and they could then do whatever they want with it. If you don't dictate or create that, because that person, that head of a state, gets access to all your accounts, and in fact you should provide that in obviously a secured document and stuff, but they take over your creative content, and hopefully, but legally, do not have to follow to the T what you state wants done, because you trust them with the best interest. So it's really it's an interesting aspect. Now you don't have to make an estate per se. You can do some stuff in regards of a family, just kind of doing it without all the legal stuff, but that then leads to let's just say you left it to KA side of the family or something, and didn't leave any. So then all of a sudden we start to do not legally. You just said, "Hey, here's all my please," and they're like, "Oh, we're taking it all. We're not good." Not that they would, but this is a real it's a paper heavy and intense thing to actually kind of have ready to go.
Yeah, I think just moving slightly away from the paperwork, what you want your legacy to be. I mean, there's a bunch of artists from the Renaissance era or whatever that are more famous because they passed than they were
Yes.
like when they were actually
I
alive.
wrote about that in a blog post lately. Just 'cause
It's all
like,
connected.
Yeah,
Let's check it out.
I just I don't want to be famous after I die.
I
would like to
I don't know. Yeah. But just as we're talking here, I think it would be so cool. I hope I die of old age. That's how I hope I go. And I think it would be like, as I kind of, if I'm in a nursing home, whatever, to have like an art gallery of physical prints all over, or just even videos. Who knows what technology will be able to do in a few years, but have my like highlights of my career all in one like physical concrete place. And that can be then, when I pass, you can say Dante Memorial Gallery or whatever.
Ooh,
I'm not putting ideas in anybody's head, but I think like the legacy part of it is something that is definitely worth thinking about. Like, what do I, not that it matters when you're gone, but what do I want to be remembered for? Or what do I want my like work to look like when I'm gone? Do I want people to think I was just a senior photographer? No, like I want them to feel like Dante when they look at a collection of photos or videos or just my work kind of thing.
Yeah. And so you would have that, the head of your estate, that's like dictated, that's what you, but then they have to then have access to everything to kind of do that. So for example, if you don't do this, so let's just say if I don't do anything or I say no, so all my books on Amazon I would pass away. Nobody would know. I mean, you don't understand, like, Amazon doesn't care as long as if somebody buys it and the checking account works, it works. That's it. Google, as another example though, if you're inactive in your email for 2 years, they automatically think you have passed away. And then there's actually a link, I forgot what the official part of your settings is. You can actually set up and dictate. It doesn't mean it has to be head of a state, but you could say, hey, I would like all of my content sent here. And you can actually set up a passing message that would automatically kick in at 2 years, or if you pass away and you've given the estate.
I don't really like that. Gmail is emailing me, hey, if you're reading this, I'm dead.
Yep. But
I don't like that.
If you've got somebody who is for your estate, they can go in and then send out that But yeah, you can set it up so at the end, if you pass,
I don't like that.
After 2 years, you can actually send a personalized message. Like, that's kind of crazy.
Ew! I do not like that at all. That is morbid. But yeah, I don't know. I don't even know. Like, would I entrust it to a creative that I know would be able to, like, curate whatever I wanted to still be out there? Like, it's got me realizing my mortality here, but like, do I really care about the seniors I took 4 years ago? Like, those photos? No. I mean, I don't really care to be remembered for Drew Boniface's senior photos I took, or like whatever. What do I want when I'm gone? Like, what do I want my staple Dante photos or videos to be? And if I didn't trust a creative to, like, or I had a family member, would they, I mean, I could tell them, but would they know, oh, we should be, like, this is definitely a photo that he would want. This is definitely
it is
a video.
However much legwork you put into it and what you should do in that regard. So, like, I've got all these unpublished poems and everything, and stuff like that. And I read this book called Death Cleaning. I'm paraphrasing that. But it was about how to handle that, and just the idea as you get older, getting rid of stuff, making sure people you care about get exactly, some stuff. And then one of the suggestions was having a box. So for like examples of most of, like, to just throw away. Just have it on top of it. It's like, kids, it's good. Just dump this. If you want something from it, cool. But really, this is just, a birthday card or something. Like, this is just stuff that was important to me, you guys, and you are okay. You're told it's okay. Instead of, like, all 6 kids, like, if mom and I pass away, how would you... Do you know what I'm saying? Like, going through all that, what...
I have my first speeding ticket in the box, which is weird. I don't know why I thought that had sentimental value, but...
Well, but for you it is. But so that kind of box. So I have actually been thinking, like, okay, I've actually started doing I've got some containers and stuff of classic things and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, I can easily at that point say, if it looks like it's good, you can make this a book and put it, and it's still, to a degree, it would still be published under my name, And so, like, right now, pop culture, like Prince and his estate and all that stuff that is the vault, you're seeing some things. Prince never allowed YouTube and stuff like that to have his music. As soon as he passed, not soon, but the estate then came and actually kind of released some of that and put his music back onto YouTube and things, and then releasing reissued and expanded CDs and LPs and releasing bootleg, stuff like that. And that's what an estate is to do. Now, I don't know exactly all that what Prince said to do, and that's the catch about choosing who you want, because they are to make decisions about your creative work, about your copyrights, about all that stuff in the best interest of your legacy. And that's kind of an interesting dilemma to think about. Who would I entrust to make the best decisions about my poetry or about your graphic, your...
It's also weird because you don't know, like, is my wife going to die before me? Is my father... You just don't know.
You don't know. And you can have... if you do... Technically, if you do the legal aspect of this, there is a lot of paperwork. There's a lot of things you do. It's all... But it's secure, things like that. I think some people, some creatives and things can get in trouble if you do it under the table. Like, okay, hey, hun, here's all my password. I mean, mom knows all my stuff. I have nothing. Like, everybody opens my phone, But what if she passed away first? Then, like, oh, well, now what do I do? And you can actually set that up if you choose to do the more legal estate planning. You can have a chain of kind of who you would like to do, but it's...
I know this conversation has got me a little concerned's the wrong word, but just, I don't know, it is weird. And like, what happens with the stuff I do have printed? What happens with the photos in the house? Like, I don't know. If I am very much a control freak, and again, obviously it wouldn't matter if I was dead, but the lack of control over my work is kind of like just odd. Like when people ask for like raw photos or whatever, I'm like, no, because then if you tag me and you edited the photo really weird and say Dante took our photos, it's not my full product, and like, you lose that sense of control of what your legacy ends up being is totally not up to you at that point.
Yeah, and you copyright what should if you have stuff on your hard drive and you wanted it released, like maybe more, you wanted a tabletop book of your landscaping. Okay, something like that. If you don't dictate that, or you just say it, it probably will never happen. Or if it's not set up right, the money would not go to your estate, to which can be like a big part if you have children. I'm just saying, if you don't do, technically, my suggestion is however much hard work it is, if you know what you kind of want your legacy to be or where to go, you're gonna have to do some work, but it's going to be done correctly, and it won't cause a bunch of problems and issues within personal things. In the long run, if you just kind of do it on the side, or you just kind of don't pay attention to it. Because if you don't do anything, anybody can actually, if they get a hold or if it's theirs.
Yeah.
It technically is.
Well, that's purely ruled by like the judge, right?
You
just kind of.
So if your photos, for example, because copyright lasts the length of your life plus 70 years. Yeah, so I shouldn't have said that kind of. So all the photos that are on your hard drives, I would be breaking copyright if I said they were mine, or if I would it would cause a bunch of problems because they could not be in the public domain until after 70 years. So there's still that. So you're still, protected as a creative with copyright and things that you have done.
But if you broke copyright, what is it really?
Well, somebody would have to know it,
and
have to do you know But it would just cause issues within dynamics of family and other just other things.
It's interesting. I just not the headspace I thought I'd be in right now. I don't know. It's got me thinking about all sorts of situations I hopefully don't have to worry about. But it's an interesting discussion.
Yeah, and so I think every creative, no matter what, you should really consider and start to at least plan for it. And who you trust. That's a really a deep aspect of this when you really get down to it, because you do, if you make the estate and stuff, you gotta provide your passwords and your logins to all your accounts. That's another factor that really comes into play about what we're building as creatives and where it's at, where it's stored. I'm still very paper heavy, but not always. Okay, you obviously are very digital heavy, in that regard, and so people have to actually get to it too.
It's weird. I just want a gallery of all my stuff before I die. And I want to curate it. When we were in Hawaii, we went and visited a photo gallery of a photographer, and they were all the metallic prints. So they were super colorful. If anything, I want a little Dante Memorial Gallery. So that's what I'm going to start with. And I'll say, here's the photos, at least for now.
Yep. And then we get done. It seems like daunting work, but it gets done. A legacy is continued. And whether that person you try it, you should, but it is. For Prince, who is, one of my favorite, it's been an interesting journey since his passing about music that's being released and, extended this and the musical. There's supposed to 2027 going to be a musical, Purple Rain. That the estate is deciding that, releasing the copyright or allowing that, or onto YouTube. And so it's a good example that at least if you got it in place, your art can live once you're gone.
Well, I think we'll leave it there. That's a lot to think about on a Tuesday. But thank you guys as always for watching. Again, we took a short hiatus, just busy stuff. We're going to start uploading now on Thursdays. So every other Thursday instead of Tuesday. So just pushing it back a couple days into the week. But for the most part now, just kind of continuing our regular scheduled programming. But again, as always, we're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, Apple, anywhere you can get a podcast. We're on it. So thank you guys always for watching, listening, hanging out, and we'll see you guys in a couple weeks.